So this is, you know, a lot of people say, well, you know, Foursquare is a small community still. People download it, they don't use it a whole lot. I'm a big Foursquare user, and you see a lot of people here in the automotive conferences checking in and using it here. But people who use Foursquare, people who use a lot of technology, love technology. And they're loyal to people who also embrace the technology. I said, you know, people talk about what, you know, I've been asked that before, hey, what kind of special should we offer for Foursquare customers? I'm like, well, you can offer a bunch of stuff, but just have someone go shake their hand and tell them that hey, I saw you checked in at our dealership, that's pretty cool. Like, it's stupid, but it matters. It matters to people like, wow, I've been recognized for the stupid activity I did of checking in here at this dealership. And it matters to them. So if you have an app that's cool and has functionality and neat stuff on it, they're more likely to talk about how cool it is, recommend it to other people. And so when you feed the techies, they become your evangelists. They go out and they help you be better. It's the same thing when you're using adaptive technology on your website. You're using cool technologies and different things. People say, hey, check this out and look at this. And when you're loyal to them where they live, they're going to be loyal to you on purchases. Induce behavior with specials. This is probably a no-brainer. You know, you don't want to overuse something like this. If you overuse this, you'll get people deactivating and turning off notifications and push notifications and whatnot. But you can also imagine if you do it occasionally, it's the Groupon effect. You can send out a message that says, hey, our service bays are dead tomorrow afternoon. Let's send a special out that says, you know, a free oil change or half-price oil change or something to get people in tomorrow afternoon. On a Tuesday afternoon, we know it's going to be slow. We know this day's going to be slow. Let's try and fill this. Or we want to send out a special to be able to do a push notification to everyone who's got that, who has that out on their app. And it's pretty cool to be able to do that just at the spur of a moment. Now, you know, again, if you do it too often, you're going to get people turning off notifications. But if you're providing valuable, you know, I wouldn't put out there, you know, hey, the new lease rates are this or that on this vehicle, and you do that every day because it will turn that off. But pushing out a special that's valuable to people occasionally, people are going to enjoy and they're going to utilize. And finally, this is the future platform. Who knows where we'll be a couple years from now from devices and where we are, but if you have an app, that's loaded onto the customer's database, or customer's phone, their smartphone, that's part of their operations, and they use it, you've got someone who's now integrated, you're integrated into their lifestyle. And now you can build from there. Whatever the future platforms become, whatever new technologies come out, whatever things are there, you've got that little piece of real estate. You know, it's a land grab because you want to get there before any of your competitors do. Okay, so summing this up, when I say you want to build for the small screen first, you want to know why and when customers are visiting your page. You get great from whatever it's in, from people, whether it's people using your app or people using a mobile web, that they're going to find you and you're going to be able to track and see what they do. Engagement creates loyalty and relationships. Know that if you've got an engaged consumer from a social media campaign, if you've got an engaged consumer on your app, that you're going to create relationships. Those relationships are going to create that loyalty. And if you don't use it, you lose it. And I think probably this point doesn't mean so much for everybody in this room, but I think the factor here probably means you're a little bit more cutting edge on the fact of on learning and getting engrossed in automotive technology pieces. But if you don't stay in the game by learning what's going on, if you don't play with an iPad, or you don't download apps and see what other people are doing, you won't foster those new ideas, and you're just going to be following what everyone else is doing. You start seeing those opportunities when you use it. So that's Foursquare is an example I used before, but I'll use that again. When I started downloading this, I'm like, oh, I'm not going to do this very long, but I'll keep doing it for a little while, and I kept doing it, and then it's like, some other people joined, like, oh, this could be kind of fun, I could do some different things with it, and the more I used it, the more I became great and started seeing opportunities, and started seeing, hey, there's ways you can utilize this in both the dealership and then personally to make it valuable. So you want to be involved in all the technology pieces to utilize that. I'll open up for any questions we've got. There's my Twitter handle. I should have my phone number and stuff up there, my email address, and Love to have you. One thing, and I think there's probably a lot of people who are speaking here that feel the same way about this stuff. I just love the automotive community. I love being around it. I love the technology, and I love the automotive. I love the people in the car business. Feel free. I mean, if you take down my information here, send me an email about anything, whatever it is. If I can't help you with it, I'll find somebody who can. I just enjoy being around it and learning and building relationships with people about how I can help you guys connect more with your customers and build and grow. And sometimes it turns into opportunities for me or from a company. But whatever it is, I want to be there to help you guys. So if you have any questions, you can fire them away now, or you can send an email or Twitter or whatever, and I'll see what I can do to help you. Yes, sir.
How does the customer info get into the app?
Great question.
I mean, do I gotta pay someone to key punch, or?
Very good, very good. And I should have covered that. So if you have an app already, you guys probably have experienced some of these things. But just having the app, you've got to get the consumers to download it. Now, so the consumer can enter that information themselves, of course. I would suggest if one of the places is when someone purchases a vehicle from you, that you load and say, hey, would you like, Bob, here you just bought this car, Bob, I can put, you can download your app and we can load your VIN number and stuff, information in here right now. If there's ever a recall on your vehicle, we'll notify you with a push notification. You can utilize this, it's got some cool stuff on it. It's just one way for you to get them to download it at that point. That's a great time to do it because you can put their loan rates, you can put all their loan information in there, you can put a bunch of stuff into the app at that time for them. I would suggest that becomes an admin or an F&I manager at the delivery time, or the salesperson who punches that in. It's not a lot of data entry. You type it in the VIN number, you can actually scan the barcode and enter it from there. But you can show the consumer how to do that. So if they want to enter, get this, all the other vehicles in their garage at home, their wife's car, their kid's car, whatever, they put those into there as well. You now know what they've got in their fleet, and one of those cars might be coming up. And if you ever wanted to, look at that, the future potential of even trading one of those vehicles in. Beyond the F&I office, when you're selling the vehicle, you've got to put something up in your service department, get your service advisors to do it, say, hey, you can schedule your own appointments online, here's how to do it, you can utilize these, here's recall information, here's whatnot. Get all that information. Service departments where you're going to get a lot of customers to download that app, especially if they're sitting in the waiting room and you got a little placard up there with the QR code to download it or something like that. That's probably an area where you really want to focus. Put it on all your ROs, any ROs or work orders you're sending out, or sending home with the customer, putting it on their weight cards or wherever. Just get it in front of them. Same way you did with your URLs for your website when you first started putting a website out there. Get it in front of them as much as you can. And that's a great time to do it.
So there's nothing that with Reynolds or ADP that your company pulls that data automatically.
We don't have anything currently to load that data automatically. It's pretty simple to add a vehicle to it once you do. I mean, you're typing in VIN number, the loan information you got to type in one time if you're going to put that information in there.
Do you have an example of a company that you could download an app and see how easy that is?
Lebanon Ford in Ohio is they're actually, if you guys, I'll tell you for a lot of things. Anyone familiar with Jeff Grider at Lebanon Ford? Anyone know? I'll tell you, if you don't, look up what he's doing there. He's doing a lot of cool stuff with the app. His will probably look a little different because he's pretty out there. But they've done, here's a little, I don't want to call it too rural, but I mean it's somewhere between Cincinnati and Dayton. Okay, really in the middle of not a really high populated area, and they've done some amazing things from a technological standpoint. He mastered a lot of social media stuff, and just even from that standpoint, he's a great case study to take a look at how they built really a Ford Giant in the middle of nowhere and are knocking around most of the dealers in Cincinnati and Dayton. But he's got a lot of stuff set up for that.
How do you spell that name?
Lebanon, Lebanon Ford. Lebanon Ford. So you should be able to search from that.
When you do the appointments or schedule the appointments, so it's taking the data from Reynolds or Reynolds.
Yes.
We use Reynolds or Reynolds. So
Sorry,
take the data from there.
Sorry, did you want from Reynolds? I hope not. I asked about Sonic. I should have asked about Reynolds first. Yeah, so we'll pull from Reynolds or from ADP and right now that'll work through our auto scheduler product to do that. So they'll pull and schedule those, so we'll know what appointments are available because of the pull from the DMS. But we hope to have soon, at least from our standpoint. I think there's other ones that are already integrated with X-Time or Time Highway and some of those other auto schedulers. If you don't have an auto scheduler for your dealership, you can still go back to where it was send an email and saying, hey, I'd like to schedule an appointment for this time. I don't know if it's the best consumer experience, but it's still better than nothing, at least until you get an auto schedule product. I thought you were going to ask something.
I'm learning about it,
Okay,
sorry.
that's all right. Any other questions? All right, well, thanks for taking the time this morning. I appreciate you guys coming out.